Hey everybody, it's Michelle here from michellecarre.com. So today is Thursday, so we are going to dig deep on my blog post this week. So the post this week was all about how to be a planner and live in the moment. So this can kind of be a tricky concept because we often think when it comes to planning and stuff like that, if you're a planner, you probably suck at living in the moment. And if you live in the moment, you probably never plan anything. But I don't think either is true, and I hope that no matter what, we can kind of incorporate both into our lives, and that's essentially what the post was about this week. So I wanted to dig into that a little bit more here. So one of the things I wrote about in the post was that we often think that we failed if the one path that we thought we were going to take to get to our goal doesn't work. And that's not true. It's not true. Just because that path was blocked or just because it didn't work out, it doesn't mean you failed altogether. It just means it's time to find a new way to get there. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. It's okay to explore different options, and that's probably when you're going to learn the most, whether it's about yourself or about what's important to you, or even if it's something, a tangible thing that you gain new knowledge on that you wouldn't have if you didn't try a different route. So I want to give people permission to take a different way, to accept that that one's not working and move on to a completely different path altogether, take a different road. That's totally fine. The other thing too is sometimes what's happening, the reason we don't make those shifts is because we get caught up in what I refer to as mental traffic. And it's almost like a physical traffic jam. It's like, this is the only way to get there. We're surrounding ourselves with these thoughts, just like you would be surrounded by cars in a traffic jam. And these thoughts of, this is the only way to do it. If I don't do it this way, it's not the right way. People will judge me if I go a different way, whatever the case may be. And we fill our head with these thoughts about the fact that this is the only way to do it, and why it's the only way, and why there couldn't be another way. When, in fact, if you were in an actual traffic jam, you could very easily look down at your phone, as long as you're not driving. I mean, I'm not going to encourage that. But you could, have the person in the car next to you pull up Google Maps and find a different way. And there's always a different way. So it's okay to do that, and you don't have to get caught up in all these thoughts. Think outside the proverbial box. Think outside the traffic jam. Move away the mental traffic. And that's when you're going to get creative. That's when you're going to find a way to do it differently. I think part of this is because we get so caught up in the details. And the truth is, the details don't always matter. Sometimes they do, but sometimes they don't. And that's why having that vision is so important, because if you know ultimately where you're trying to get to and what you're trying to accomplish, how you get there doesn't really matter. And if you are connected to that vision deeply, you'll know if there are specific details that do in fact matter. So, I mean, one of my favorite Christmas movies is Home Alone. So her goal, the mother's goal in the movie, is to get home to her child, right? And she does it. She takes planes, she sells her watch to those old people, or her jewelry or whatever, translator. She takes the caravan with the band, the polka band or whatever it is. The way she gets there doesn't matter, because her goal and her vision to see her son that she left behind is what is most important to her. So it doesn't matter, right? And there are, like I said, of course, times where the details do matter. And those details, though, aren't usually super specific, tangible things. They're usually integrity pieces, heart pieces, where it's like, yeah, I want to get there, but I don't want to get there if I have to do this. And I think that is where you really need to have clarity, right? So vision boards can be amazing. It's a great way to kind of collect a visual of what you want in your life. But if you have to sacrifice things like your morals, your integrity, and who you are as a person to get there, is it really worth getting there in the first place? So those are the details you can't negotiate on. Those things matter so much. So keep those close to you. But if you want to get in shape, try running. If you hate it, stop it. Don't do it anymore. Go to boxing, or go to a personal trainer, or go swimming. I don't care what you do. But if you don't like something that you're doing, stop doing it and find a different way to get there. The goal is health, right? But if you are, let's say you want to increase sales in your business, but the only way that you see to do it is just something that doesn't fit right with you at all, then don't do that. Don't do that, because that is going to counter. You can't switch gears if the other option is going to infringe on your personal integrity and your values and morals. So one of the questions that Susie posted in on the blog post, she commented and asked, what tools, do you have any specific tools that you use to help you plan but stay in the moment? And I kind of do, in the sense that one of the tools I use is an actual day planner. Here it is. It's very pretty. It's new this year. I like to try different ones, see what they're like. But I use this because this is where I put the intention, the vision. I try to keep out like the, nitty gritty stuff in here of, this appointment at this time, do these tasks at this time, or I need to, book an eye appointment, or pick up the kids from here, or do this and do that. This is just what's the intent for today. Work on the website, post some stuff in My Delicious Life, do the blog post, that kind of stuff. That's more contributing to the overall vision of what I want to do. And then I use an app called ToDo List, and it's, well, they don't pay me. I don't have any affiliate payments for anything, but I really like this one. There's like a billion out there. I think the phone actually, like any iPhone, just has an automatic to-do kind of app built into it. But whatever you choose, I use an app so that I can write down specific tasks. So if I'm talking to someone and they're like, oh, can you send me XYZ? Okay, I'm going to make a note of that so I don't forget. And it's in there, it's a task I have to do. Oh, I need to make this phone call today. I need to book this appointment today, send this email today, whatever the case may be. That's where those things go. So when I'm planning out my day, I try and have a time for tasks so I can go through that task list and just get them done. And these tasks shouldn't take more than 5-10 minutes at the very most to just get it done and get it out of the way. And then if it's more than that, you're probably working on a project. And if you're working on a project, you want to have some intention around that. It should be supporting a vision that you have. And sometimes projects aren't glamorous. Doing the accounting and the budget for this year is not my most favorite glamorous project, but it supports my overall vision for my business. It supports the intention of increasing business, or of knowing what works in our business so we can do more of it and not do things that aren't working, right? So those things that take longer, I consider to be more projects. The other tip that I would share is to build space. If we are so scheduled and so jam-packed, we're just not going to have time to switch gears. And that's when people get stuck, right? Because you think, okay, this is the fastest, Google will tell you, this is the fastest route to your destination, right? So you take that route. And if it says it'll take 31 minutes and you only allow 31 minutes to get there, and then there's an accident or a traffic jam, that's when the stress happens, right? So if you look on Google Maps and they say, okay, it's a 31-minute drive, this is the fastest way to get there, okay, great, super. So you go and you get on the road, but you leave 45 minutes out, 40 minutes out, whatever it is. And then if there is an accident, you can switch gears. You can take a different path because you're not so jammed and scheduled in that you don't have an extra few minutes to spare. You can do it. So if anything, I would say to build in that time. And truth bomb, I have to work on that all the time. My husband always jokes that I think that I teleport, which I do. I have yet to actually do that, but I'm terrible for not leaving enough breathing room where I'm like, we got to go. I have exactly 31 minutes, so we have to leave right now. And I'm getting better at that, but that's definitely a tip I would share, because when I do create more space, it alleviates the stress like nobody's business. It's just, it's refreshing, and it's empowering too, to know that you have some space around it. So yeah, so create space for yourself, have a place where you can talk or specifically focus on the intention and what vision you're trying to create for yourself, and then also create a space where you can capture the checklist tasks that need to happen, just so that they're there, they can get taken care of. Keep a time frame to do that kind of stuff, and if it takes more time, call it a project. And if it's a project that doesn't support anything you're trying to accomplish in your life, question why you're doing the project in the first place, right? So that's what I have for you today on our Dig Deep. If anybody has any questions, I'm going to be doing these every Thursday. So blog post comes out Wednesday, and I will do the Dig Deep video on Thursdays. So you can either leave a comment or a question when I post the blog, or you can join us live and feel free to comment and post questions while we are doing that. And then if you don't see the video live, no big deal. Still leave your comments or questions, and I love having that conversation with you guys on this page. So go out there, create the life that you want to have, create the life that you envision for yourself, and damn it, make sure it's delicious. Take care, everyone. See you later.